Hey, here's the qualifier. Perfect. Perfection. They want perfection with the memory programming, the program interface. And then there's perfect balance when atoms are in perfect balance. And why do magnets like to be in balance? Spinning magnets, spinning tops, spinning galaxies, spinning consciousness, spinning soul consciousness, right? And then I realized as a child, I was surrounded by API, robots. Oh no. Right? Well, robots do what robots do, and living souls and living spirit do what we do. And how can you tell the difference? Well, do you think it was a coincidence last night? I put a video up of a lady that I believe is a shaman. Even though I try and not put labels on consciousness using alphanumeric formats. I believe I mentioned this once before when ka na ka ma hole. When you think of the native languages of spirit and how ancestral experiences from which we learn through another Navajo who called us holy people, as in Holy Spirit, which is holy light, which is a sacred temple of light, which is a soul led by spirit to learn through experience. So we learn through experience the result in our mirror, the use of our energy, what we experience in our mirror, what comes back to us as a result in the use of our energy, the realm that we're in, what we experience in that realm that doesn't serve us. Love and service to others is what serves us, because now we're running a higher spin cycle of atoms in the mirror, which is the torque speed spin of magnets. Raises the vibration on a vertical platform, otherwise known as a vertical and a horizontal stabilizer, which is a cross, which is a perfect balanced cross of the inside of a cell, a living cell. Really, yeah. A sphere of light, which are light codes, which are fire letters. Fire. Yeah, baby, fire. How much fire we got in us? Enough to burn it all off. Burning off all the goo codes that don't serve us. Trying to hold our consciousness to that level of creation so they never lose perception of who we are, which isn't who they are. That's all your corporate whirly gigs. Remember the whirly gig in the carnival? Shh. Same as windshield wipers, huh? Back and forth, back and forth. So yeah, and so what she mentioned that was so beautiful, which is true, and I could correlate this to what happened here when the hurricane was going to slam into Hilo. What was that, 2019? If you remember that, if you want to go back in time. When I was mentioning to other people, let's get 100,000 people on the island to get a ring of fire, holding hands, going into our heart to communicate with all the elementals to move that hurricane out of here and diffuse it. It's the way we used to do it. You want to bring rain, working with all the elementals, working with the ionosphere, as in spheres of light. Spirit is in energy, communicating with all the spirits, in energy with all the elementals. The spirit of fire, the spirit in the air, which is the wind of the currents, like in electrical currents. Wow, clear skies. That's why they were going after Ghostbusters, or if you will, cloud busters. You know how to make a cloud buster when they were putting up all their chemtrail crap, right? With three, but you can use more than that. 3 big ass copper tubes, say 1-inch diameter, put it in a bucket with quartz crystal sand, right? Put its shavings in there. They're coming out of a metal shop with resin, right? Yeah. Cloud busters, fake cloud busters. So, this is sort of how it works. They make a move, then we make a move, then they make a move. Because I remember one day watching a young man put one of them cloud busters up, chemtrail busters up, and all of a sudden here come the black helicopters. And he had them on his camera. Look at them coming up. It's an AI war game, isn't it? You do something, we do something. Now you get to understand the difference between negative counter space, positive space, negative space, positive space, and the torque speed differential between the two. 13/13 is what? 26, which is 8. Turn the 8 from being vertical to horizontal, and you got what? Trinoculars, tri-wave. Pineal gland, right? The nose bridge. Yeah, well, that's a mushroom cloud. Yeah, like magic mushrooms, right? Acid and alkaline, right? The relationship between acid and alkaline. Yeah. So anyway, I have fun with this, but it's not funny because you can see what's happening, particularly on the internet. Because at the end of the day, it really is true in the way that a timeline works, or what I call a life book. See, they can put something up on the TV set. Actually, it doesn't matter. If you go online on a TV and they report something in that magazine, for example, hey, yesterday down there in, say, for example, Timbuktu, pick a town, pick a name that you want to name a town, because you have the ability to use the arrangements, the numbers as energy, to just make up a name of a town. Because you have imagination in which to do that, right? Using imaginary numbers between minus/plus. And say, okay, and I used to do this a lot when I was a child. That's where we used to rearrange our language and letters all over the place, which was to have fun and play with it. Because you already realize right out of the gate, what you're dealing with when you come in here, like I did out of my mother's womb. Okay? It's all an illusion. It's a game. You're gaming for your mind's energy, which is your soul. That's the truth of it. So you got to maintain your top speed. Like in tennis. Yeah, it's got top spin to it. Ooh, look at that ball just curve and drop. Right? Wow, that's called an ace. An ace in the hole. That's like a hole in one. I'm one. Man, you mean to tell me with one bat of the ball, man, I couldn't. It's like feedback. Sorry, it just went by you too fast. I can't move that fast because the ball's moving that fast. It's got some real spin on it. Oh, is this like a curveball when you're 60 feet away on top of the mountain? Yeah. See, your eye is looking at the ball. You got to keep your eye on the ball. Remember, keep your eye on the ball. That's why, for example, when you take a photo, a shot, when you're up on a pitcher's mound, you go, okay, this is exactly where it's going to be at the point in which it happens. Oh, so you're going to replicate it. Yeah, that's how that works. Wow, that's an exact duplicate. You mean to tell me you can make an exact duplicate of something that already happened and make it happen again in real time? Yeah. Well, that's sort of like what you mentioned one time about being connected to eternity and having rope climb down El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. And why am I going to waste my energy to go up there and go do that if I've already done it? Precisely. Whoa. You mean to tell me you moved up there, you're in Florida, and you managed to be able to move yourself where you're at over to El Capitan, on top of El Capitan, and you've already rappelled down a rope and done that? Yeah. That's why I don't have to do it anymore. I already did it. Wow. So is this sort of how timelines and life books work? Yeah, sort of. It simply means is just because your vibrational state is where you are in Florida and you're telling me that's what you're experiencing in Florida, that doesn't mean if I'm where you are, that's what I'm going to experience being next to you because I'm vibrating at a higher level than you are. And that's called phasing in and phasing out. You're experiencing what you're experiencing. I'm experiencing what I am, which is eternal love. So if I am eternity and I'm experiencing eternal love, I'm not going to experience what you're experiencing. You're on a different level of creation based on your torque speed. Wow. Really? Yeah, because how am I going to protect you if you got a soul left? If I can't protect me by going faster than you. Wow, you must be spinning a high-speed magnet. Well, that's the point. How fast are you learning through your magnet? Boy, that's called a drive motor. That's precisely correct. That's called a drive motor. So do you know the difference between what artificial intelligence is, which is a mental field, and something that isn't? Yeah, of course. That means it's the highest state of awareness, it's the highest spin. Mushroom cloud. As above, so below. Magnets. Yep. So you want to work with children with magnets. Yeah, let's go spin a top. Hey, we grew up with hula hoops. It's one of the best ways to exercise, actually. Hey, it's like dancing. Dancing with the hoop. Dancing with the circle of light. Circle of fire. Yeah. So when the lady was talking in that lecture, it wasn't really a lecture, I call it a presentation. She was presenting information that is native traditions of the clans and tribes, okay, of how we work with the elementals. We work with the great living oversoul spirit of Mother Nature and the elementals in order for the community to thrive, okay, because we are in love and service to others. So when you are in love and service to others, miracles do happen because you have the energy from which we are what love is to make those things happen, because the elementals work with us because we are what the law is, which is what love is. So we don't want anybody to have to suffer any harm, do we? No, because we are what love is. It does no harm. So when all the spirits that are in the light, which represent what love is, are working with all the other spirits, which are the elementals and everything else that is alive and living in spirit, we all work together to dance in harmony. That would be Eden. Wow. You're all living in paradise. Yeah, of course. We manifest paradises, nirvana, places you can't even imagine. Yeah, but that's it. That's the point. Your imagination. Photosynthesis bands of images, moving pictures. Wow. That's the power of the creative mind when it's on fire with a fire engine that is burning hot as a purifier. You're experiencing the purity of your heart, which is the purity of your soul, which is the purity of your spirit, which is the purity of your fire, in which to be able to do that. And that is an eternal gift, and that is an eternal blessing to be able to experience surrendering your soul's energy to serve forever. And that means that the door is shut behind you, because now you don't ever have to worry about power anymore, because now you are the most powerful. Because now you've chosen to serve forever on behalf of all creation that we are one with. That's what it means to be one with all creation. We're given love to and living spirit with our souls. And that's called a free will choice to do that, which is a chosen one, because you have chosen the one to be with forever. Now you're experiencing love wherever you go. And so I've known this all my life. They don't want to surrender their electrons. No. They don't want to surrender their power. Their mind is inverted. Their perception of power is through the use of our energy, which means they drain our stars of our stars' energy to go to war against our stars, which means we're allowing to go to war against ourselves by virtue of becoming aware of it in our own mirror. So what do? We burn it off. We raise the heat. Burn it off. If it's anything less than what we are, which is what love is, and we are the law, we burn it off. Because that's a parasite. That's vampiric consciousness feeding on our energy. That's a dying race. A fallen spirit. As a result of their failure, which is fail to be safe, which simply means peace, to live in peace with others. So then it becomes a race against time and technology transfer in order to avoid the accountability of what they've done, because they aren't in a state of peace by virtue of what they do to others that is against the law of one. And that's as simple as it gets. Love is the law, and it's no longer negotiable. Have a great day. I love you all.